I don't know how to come up with an exact measurement, but obviously our confidence is increasing. We've played better and we've improved as a football team. I think a big part of it has to do with our quarterback. I think he's playing a lot better, a lot more sure. That's pivotal for our football team. And our defense has stepped it up. Some guys have maybe taken their game to a new level. Some guys have, and some guys still need to. But we were definitely getting better, and we're gaining confidence.
With your quarterback with Caleb over the weekend, what did he do well that obviously he's been building towards, and how much does that help him and help this offense going forward?
I think he's gotten better every game, and he's always a guy that I thought had good composure about him and was able to kind of keep it all together. Even in the very beginning of the season when he hadn't played in a while, I thought he just had a good composure about him. But he's been accurate, and he's gotten us out of a lot of bad situations and made good plays out of it. In the first half of the game on Saturday, he was, or the first quarter of the game Saturday, he was 8 out of 10 for 100 yards and a touchdown, and that included a drop and a throwaway. So he was really 9 for 9 and a touchdown, and then played really well again in the second half and went in, with quarterback stats of 13 out of 15 and 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he's been consistent. He's done a good job with the ball security part of it. He's made a few mistakes, and he's learned from them. But I think everything about his quarterback play is improving, and I think he's one of the reasons why we're doing a lot better as a team.
With Michigan, in particular, Denard Robinson, the problems he presents, obviously, as a dual-threat quarterback and trying to contain that.
Well, he's unbelievable. He really is. He's a fantastic player, and certainly one of the best players in all of college football. And you're not going to stop him. You hope that you can minimize his production enough to give yourself a chance to compete and win. But he can be a difference maker in any ball game and on any play. We've sat around and looked at a bunch of film on him, and he is really an outstanding athlete and a great team player. So just he alone, along with all of his other great teammates, they're an excellent football team, a very, very good football team. But he is really a difference maker for any club.
How is their offense different from the one you're used to seeing from them the last couple of years?
They brought some of their offense with them, a lot of their offense with them. The new coaching staff did, and they employed a lot of that, which some of it you may refer to as some West Coast offense. There's a tight end in the ball game. Sometimes there's 2 backs in the ball game. Some drop back passing. Pocket passing, some West Coast style offense, some pro style offense that they're very good at. And then they also retain some of the things that any offense would like to have that would be tailor-made for Denard Robinson. So really I don't want to say they're a mix of the two. It's their new offense, but they're still doing some of the things that they did the last couple of years with Denard, and that's feature him as a ball carrier.
Without giving away your game plan, is it a situation where you want to make Robinson throw to beat you?
Well, it depends on the situations. He's a dual threat quarterback. There's the same as we were facing last week in my mind. Where both those guys have manufactured a lot of plays, and they have great skill players. Last week, did you want Shieldhouse to throw to that great receiver? In the normal amount of times, I'm not sure. So you kind of have to pick your poisons and try to get some balance and defending Denard Robinson or Shieldhouse or any really true great dual threat quarterback, and then they both are.
They've struggled the last couple of years on defense. They're a lot better now. What's kind of changed from one year to the next there?
Well, they're very big and strong. They have a very, very big, strong defensive front, and they're very, very tough across the front. And that's nothing new, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on film. They have a big, tough, strong defensive line, very big and very strong. They've changed their schemes. They were a 3-4 team that brought a lot of pressure out of their Okie defense. They were a high-pressure football team, and they brought it often, and they brought it a lot. They took some chances. Now they're an even front. They're very physical across the front. They try to whip you with their defensive front. They are less pressure-oriented. They can and have already throughout the course of the year. They have dialed up a lot of pressure, and they're good at it. Kind of like Penn State in some ways. Penn State can line up with their big physical front, and they can play base and whip you, and they can dial up, some blitzes and some pressure that can really give you some problems. And I see Michigan the same. They can line up in base and get after you, or they can dial up some pressures and give you even more things to have to handle. So they're a good defensive front. They can press you, but they're more base, or they have been more base, and they're a different style. They're an even front, 4-down lineman compared to the odd front that we saw the last couple of years for the most part.